So now, how do I tweet this shit out?
I have no idea.
Dun, dun, dun.
I don't think.
Yeah, you
don't
can.
know.
This is how Lauren does it. Comment, chat.
Lauren Michaels
Stepmom.
of Saturday Night Live. Beezy, what are you doing? Yeah, you.
Waiting for the tweet. Waiting for the tweet, man.
Well, I got to figure out how to do it here. Public.
We're gonna go for what, about an hour? I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need a haircut.
Yeah, me too.
I was gonna go. Shit. I was gonna. Well, we'll save that. I don't. Is anyone watching?
Yeah, Jimmo is on here.
What's up, Icon? How you doing?
Yeah, Gmo.
I was gonna grow like I was gonna grow a Tennessee top hat. Do you guys even know what that is? That's awesome.
It sounds pretty awesome though.
It's awesome.
How did he find this?
I don't know. Jimmo found it. Ask Jimmo, how'd you find us? Send us a link. Tell us how to do it.
Yeah.
At 3 Dumbasses.
Tell us what the fuck we're doing.
Do you watch Did you watch The Walking Dead?
Oh, fuck yeah, I did, dude.
So you know who Eugene is, right?
I do, yeah.
Okay. The mullet, Eugene?
Yes.
That's a Tennessee top hat.
Dude. Dude, if you do that, if you can pull that off, man, that would be. Whew.
So yeah, I was gonna do that, but man, it's I'm struggling. I really want. I was supposed to go the other night to get my hair cut, and that was my excuse for not jumping on the Discord with Chalk. But things happened, and I didn't go. Did you figure it out, Polly?
No. It popped up as a notification on my YouTube.
So is this just live? Is this just live on Twitter?
Well, yeah. There's people that are trying to. The people are trying.
Yeah, we're on there right now.
On whose?
We're on the Undroppables channel on YouTube.
Well, that's good.
So
we need. Angie was asking if we were on.
Share. Here, I got it.
Attaboy.
Yay!
We're getting there. Gmail's probably like, what the fuck is happening right now?
Like, these guys don't know shit.
We don't know. We don't have any idea. I was forced into this. Icon. This is not my doing. It's like I was forced into the listener league.
Yes.
That I'm leading. Aren't I leading?
You're right up there.
You ain't doing shit.
You ain't doing shit. I'm talking. You're over there. You're like Mr. 70s dad. You don't know anything about technology.
I'm talking.
Now there's an echo.
It's done.
Yeah.
What are we on? Tape delay? How was 2,000 flushes? How is he 4-1?
He is.
Oh, this is the lead. Where do you go to see your schedule anymore? Sleeper with their fucking 15,000 updates a day.
Did you send? Okay, let me see it.
Can you not see your own schedule anymore?
Hold on. I haven't seen my schedule in a while on that thing.
Gemmo, we're good, man. We're good.
Oh, I found it.
Hey, there's 4 people here now.
Counting us?
No.
Oh.
Not counting us.
I can't. I can't.
Asshat.
I can't see shit for who's in here or any of that kind of stuff.
No, I can't. I can't see any of that either. Not that I care. I don't care about you out there, the ones that are in here.
What? Why would you say that?
I'm like Thanos. I wish I could snap my fingers and make you not exist. Let me leave so I can go collect some Infinity Gauntlets. You guys do the show without me. Peace. What are you doing, Polly?
I was just tweeting it out and stuff, man.
All right. Welcome, listener land, to a special live edition of Unscripted. You will not be able to find this episode on your regularly scheduled programming because we're live. I am joined as always by Paul Lundegaard, the Godfather, and the Vikings. They may be without their cook, but we have our chef, Jake Bisson.
What's up?
What's up, fellas?
What it is, my man.
Doing great, man. Doing great. Gemmo is already here.
You guys,
Gemothicon.
What's up, Icon? Are you guys following the I want to talk about my Braves a little bit. Go Braves. Hopefully they close the NLCS out tonight.
I am not following baseball, if that's your question.
We need to wrap this show up within the next 30 minutes so I can watch the game 5.
If you want, I could turn it on and tell you what's happening.
No, it doesn't start. It hasn't started. So I don't know why why does it come on at like 10 o'clock? I mean, first off, it's hard enough to stay awake during a baseball game. And I like baseball. Why? Anyway, Le'Veon Bell's a Chief.
Clyde Edwards Hilaire shares.
Woofy woof.
Still good dynasty,
That's not the wolf of the day. That's not. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. I'll make sure we get to that.
That's not the wolf of the day. Dynasty probably, still doing okay, but the redrafters.
I'm gonna do one of those things.
It's not like Jonathan Taylor's doing anything either.
No, he's not. Neither of them look very good. I'm glad you brought that up, Polly. Neither of them look very good at all. I tried to tell people not to take Clyde Edwards-Helaire in the first round. Obviously, I was shouted down by the many thousands of people who just expected him to jump in there and be fantasy gold. Week 1, he looked pretty good. He has not looked good since.
He's Brian Westbrook, though.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Not so much. I'm not throwing him away just yet. Obviously, dynasty, but for redraft, man, you got to be crying there a little bit. I think Bell can still play.
Oh yes, he can play.
What's up, Bo? Bo knows Hotbox is in here. Yeah, Bell can still play, and Clyde is a piece to a very explosive offense that if Bell would get hurt. He would be the man, but he's sharing, duties now. So
I'm going to go ahead and I'm dubbing this the Fresh Prince of Bel Air.
Okay.
Backfield. It's the Bel Air backfield.
Dr. Adam had the tweet of the week when he said, "I thought Clyde Edwards-Hilaire's vision.
He did.
I thought his vision was great. He didn't see Le'Veon Bell coming. Ooh,
it got like the real Adam A.
It got like 1,800 likes. He's never had a tweet blow up like that before. So Bo says that he wouldn't trade you a quarterback this week, and you're done with him. He thinks.
Bo was asking for some ridiculous bullshit. So yeah, I'm pretty much done with the hot sauce man. I offered him a legitimate trade, and he tried to get Deebo Samuel for Kyle Allen.
Ooh.
No, that's okay. I'll just take a 0 at my second quarterback spot in that league this week.
You saw me get Mecole Hardman in a second for him, though, didn't you?
For who?
Kyle Allen.
Yeah. See, I'm not that guy.
Smile on your face.
I'm not that
Last
guy.
year I traded him for Mark Andrews. This year I traded him for Mecole Hardman. Every year I'm just gonna keep picking that dude up and keep trading him for nice pieces, man.
Yeah, shout out to Bearded Shotgun who traded Mark Andrews for Kyle Allen last year.
There were some pick swaps involved too. You know, I paid some seconds.
Fucking beards.
I think I
Yeah,
paid some.
I can't roll my eyes hard enough at that bull crap.
Mike Faella is in the chat too. Hello, Mike. He's in
Are we gonna call out everyone who joins the chat?
I might.
Because I'm gonna Thanos snap these.
I might call out
Bo big time. Is Bo still watching?
Bo's here, yeah.
Bo, you're not allowed to watch. Go away. Yeah.
But with Jonathan Taylor, though, man, we got to quit calling plays like it's 1958. The one time that we got him on an outside zone run, he scored. The Colts are just running his ass up the middle, and
the Colts look terrible. I'll just say it. On offense, they look terrible. Nothing like I thought they might look.
I tried to tell you when you picked them for favorites for the Super Bowl. I tried to tell Jax.
They also don't have anybody to throw the football to. T.Y. Hilton looks like he's come down with a serious case of Geritol.
You need someone to throw the ball first.
Who's he throwing it to? 3 tight ends? Dude, come on, man. They're playing. Their entire offense operates within 20 yards of the line of scrimmage.
As soon as the Colts get up against a team that can put up points and the pressure's on, Phillip Rivers is going to throw picks. That's what he does. It's going to get worse. Trust me.
Rivers looks bad, but he doesn't have anyone to throw to at all. And maybe T.Y. Hilton looks so bad because Rivers looks so bad. I don't know which one came first.
They don't have chemistry.
But they don't look like they're on the same page at all.
No.
Rivers is doing his little shot put where he's shot put and everything. His footwork looks bad. They just don't look good at all. And Jonathan Taylor, that offensive line, as good as it is, it's just like useless because Rivers is, it was one thing last year when he didn't have a lot of time and he was in San Diego playing behind a bad line. And, but now, I mean, it's just, I don't, you can't.
No, Bo just made a good comment. Costanzo is back and the Colts definitely need Costanzo. I think we are 2-9 without Anthony Costanzo in the lineup. So, everybody always talks about Quentin Nelson, but before Quentin Nelson came around, we had Costanzo, and he's always been a key cog, and we do not do well when he's not in the lineup. But, yeah, you're right. They don't have the weapons. And we're running 4 wide receiver sets. We don't even have 1 wide receiver.
Right.
Why are we running 4 wide receiver sets?
But on a positive, though, since week 2, he is 5th amongst all backs in red zone rushes, and he has had 3 touchdowns in the past 4 games. So he's getting the opportunities in the red zone. It's just you got to be a little bit more patient and to see if that it's his yardage. I mean, he's going to get the opportunity. It's just a matter of time.
I'm more hopeful for Jonathan than Clyde for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, of course. Yeah,
I would expect Taylor to have a pretty good game Sunday. I mean, the Bengals are pretty bad. They just lost DJ Reader. They went out and actually spent some money on defense this year, and all 3 players that they brought in are injured. So it's just going to get worse for them. I definitely keep plugging Jonathan Taylor into your lineup. If he's going out there, you want him in your lineup.
No, absolutely. The DFS guys use like a 4-way predictor for running back success for DFS and DraftKings, and it's a adjusted line percentage. It's the line advantage, which our line advantage this week is off the charts, like 66%, and it's a positive or neutral game script. I forget the fourth predictor, but Jonathan Taylor checks all 4 boxes for fire his ass up this week. So yeah, don't bench him. That's for sure.
The Bengals are allowing 131.4 rushing yards per game, and they're averaging 5.3 yards per carry. So enough said. Fire them up.
Yeah.
Okay. I know you guys saw this. Everyone saw this. I'm going to talk about another rookie here who didn't just score 5 touchdowns with 1 called back. I watched a little bit of this game. I didn't watch all this game. What I did see was the Pittsburgh Steelers manufacturing touches for Chase Claypool.
Yep.
Which, if you own him, even in a redraft league, has to make you feel really good. If you just pick this guy up off the waiver wire in your redraft league, fire him up, because Deontay Johnson was out last week. He's going to be out again this week.
Mm-hmm.
And clearly he has the trust of his quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger, who can still play, by the way. He was out there extending plays. He looked like Big Ben from 5 years ago. Will he look like that, as we go deep into the season? That remains to be seen, but it looks like he can still play, and this offense is a hell of a lot better than it was last year.
100% agreed. Claypool has been, a lot of people were shitting on Claypool coming into the year. They didn't like his profile and whatever. And
was he going to be a tight end, or was he going to be a wide receiver?
Yeah, a lot of people wanted to make him a tight end.
And and it's like Pittsburgh. When Pittsburgh drafts a wide receiver in the second round, you need to take notice. They've had a couple busts, obviously, but they do have a phenomenal wide receiving, staff where they know how to draft wide receivers. It's there. So Claypool, I'm not surprised. I happened to pick him up in 3 redrafts and start him on Sunday.
Shit.
Well, two of them were actually super flex. He was my second quarterback.
You probably outscored all the quarterbacks.
I think if I was your opponent, I would quit. You wake up and you're like, oh, my opponent's starting Chase Claypool as a second quarterback. It's going to be an easy dub. 55 points later.
This is why we get paid the big bucks, folks.
Yes, it is.
I think I started Mecole Hardman as my second quarterback in one of my super flexes where I had no Tannehill and no Cam.
I actually played Claypool in the 2 spots that I own him, not because I saw any of that coming, but because I was just decimated by injuries. And I'm like, okay, let's go, Chase. Yeah. To your point, BZ, the Steelers, they have a very good track record with wide receivers, especially ones with high draft capital. The only other 2 guys they drafted this high were Plaxico Burress and Santana Moss. And they don't keep guys. They let guys go. They let Mike Wallace go. They let
Plaxico Burress go.
They let Plaxico Burress go. I think they're going to let Juju go. I know Juju is super young. I don't know what kind of money he's going to want. I can't imagine him re-signing in Pittsburgh. The only receiver they've re-signed was Antonio Brown, and eventually they parted ways with him. I think if you own him in a dynasty, I would look for him to be catching passes from someone else next year.
Yeah, I was going to say that, man. I think that Claypool's emergence is it's a big shot on Juju going forward. So, Pittsburgh has been known to take care of its guys, but they don't overpay for those wide receiver positions, running back positions. They've always been pretty stingy in that sense. Unless they truly believe that he is going to be their number one moving forward, they're probably going to let him test the market and see what he get, see where he goes. Because Claypool is looking legit and Deontay Johnson looks legit. So sad, but that's the truth.
2-on-1 Tommy is on, and he asked whatever happened to Plaxico. The last I remember, he like shot himself in the thigh in a club.
Yeah, he shot himself.
Remember?
Yep.
Remember when he shot himself in the club?
He caught the game-winning touchdown to beat the undefeated Patriots in the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, that was a great catch too. By the way,
it was.
It was a great route. He ran straight to the post and hit the corner, and he sort of had to turn around for it.
Yeah, he spun around. It was a great catch. Yeah, I'm with you, man. Juju's probably headed out of town, which makes Claypool the dynasty buy of the century right now. I mean, not that you're going out and buying him right now because he would cost so much, but I just mean, his stock is rising like unbelievable.
So friend of the program and friend of Undroppables, Mike Lou, I think you can, what is his Twitter? At Mike Up.
At Mike.
Yeah. Michael Lou. He's a good guy.
He has a saying that I sort of like, and sometimes you have to buy high.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I hopped in that thread where he talked about that.
This might be one of those guys that you have to just go buy high.
Well, because they're still rising.
Yeah.
That's what he talks about, that people say don't buy high, but you don't know that you're buying at the apex. A guy like that's value is going to continue to rise big time. No Deontay this week, so
yeah, throw him out there. If you just picked him up, I wouldn't have any trepidation about putting him straight into your lineup.
Oh, I'm starting him in all the leagues I have him. Yeah. I drafted him in like 4 or 5 leagues, and yeah, I'm throwing him out there for sure. Couple leagues where I have him, I ended up picking up, not this week, but last week I picked up about 5 or 6 shares of Travis Fulgham.
Yep.
Yeah, so I watched this kid catch a touchdown on the Niners, and it looked kind of flukish. I think he only had a couple of targets that week, and
he's not a guy that I was buying.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not picking this guy up. And then he goes out last week, and he's their go-to. Looks like their go-to wide receiver.
In 2 games, he's already leading the team for wide receiver yards in 2 games.
Well, he's the only wide receiver they have.
Opportunities, everything, right?
You're right. And Adam Kaplan expects him to remain their starting X receiver all year.
Well, I told you I did some research into the kid, and yeah, he's out there. He's going to be out there. Alshon's can't get on the field.
Yeah, he's out again this week.
He's out again. They expected to have him back by now, and he's not playing. So there's a huge problem there. And
he's this year's AJ Green.
Yeah, Djax.
He's never going to suit up.
Djax isn't out. He's out. He's not playing this week. It'll be likely a couple more weeks before Rager gets back. But they are so thirsty for wide receivers. And this guy was drafted by the Lions and cut, and the Packers had him for a minute this year. Imagine him with Aaron Rodgers throwing him the ball. And as thirsty as they are for wide receivers, I can't believe they let him go. But some guys, you just don't see what you got until you put them on the field. And he played for Old Dominion. He was a product of 2 military parents. He actually was abroad in his younger years. He went to military school, which I like. I like that pedigree.
Exchange.
What does that have to do with anything?
You said he was abroad in his younger years. I'm like,
you did.
No, he went abroad.
Because
his
was
parents.
Okay. He was abroad. Okay, I got
He was abroad. Yeah, no, we don't use that term anymore. Come on,
Beezy does. He knew what I was talking about.
I totally did know what you're talking about.
He wasn't abroad.
What's Old Dominion's?
He was abroad. And he went to military school. I like that. I like that pedigree. for Old Dominion, he was
The Monarchs.
the first player to ever get invited to the Senior Bowl, and he really burst on the scene. I mean, we saw him take over the game the other day, and he did that in college when they beat the 13th ranked Tennessee team, and he went 8 for 188 yards that game against a highly ranked Tennessee team, and they pulled the upset. And I watched the tape from Sunday. He was wide open on a couple of plays. He was very much not wide open on a couple plays. There was one crucial play up the middle where there were 3 defenders converging on him, and it was in a very tight window, and he knew he was going to get smoked. Caught the ball, came down with it, got some really nice yak on a couple plays, and what impressed me the most was Wentz was looking his way on third down. So he was 3 for 3 on third down conversions as well. So you've got a quarterback that's just been dying for somebody to throw the ball to, and you've got this kid that's converting third downs. He's already gaining the trust. So I don't think it's a one-off outlier. I don't expect him to do it this week going against Marcus Peters by any means, but Djax isn't going to be there next year. Alshon's not going to be there next year. It's going to be Jalen Reagor and Fulgham. So I like his dynasty value, and I like his redraft value here for later in the season too. I would not start him this week. We're firing up Claypool, but I would pump the brakes for 1 week on Fulgham. But I like what I saw.
I haven't broken down his film yet.
And do you know who he profiles to on Player Profiler? Michael Gallup.
So I haven't broken down his film yet, but someone who has watched him pretty closely, Greg Cosell, and he's a much better film guy than I am, and I probably ever will be. He says this is for real. So between he and Adam Kaplan, that's enough for me, and Pauly.
I was just taking you.
That's enough for me. So yeah, if you haven't gotten this guy and he's still out there, and you got some of your league mates are kind of wondering, go get him, go pick him up. At worst, he's going to be a volume dependent, probably wide receiver 2-3 the rest of the way at worst.
I did trade him already. You saw that. The guy offered me Alan Lazard, and I already had Devontae Adams, so I said no. Then he offered me Philip Lindsay.
I think we need to talk about this. Is this the Will Fuller trade?
Yeah, his second offer was Philip Lindsay, which happened before Melvin Gordon went out and got drunk downtown Denver. So I probably should have taken the Philip Lindsay offer, but I said, no, I really don't like him. Then he sent me Will Fuller straight up, and I smashed accept.
As you should. That's a pretty ridiculous trade offer.
I still have tons of shares. I mean, I got him like in 6 leagues last week for free, and I got him in another 6 or 7 leagues this week for Fab, which you guys know I treat Fab like fun coupons.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. Just blowing
What's
it
Fab?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever.
You guys who are making these deals with Pauly make it extremely difficult for a hardworking man like myself to make deals with this guy.
Yes, I agree.
When you're giving him fucking Will Fuller for free, and then he looks at my offer, which is a perfectly legitimate offer, and he's like, "Oh no, I'll just find some sucker to trade this guy to. I'm not going to trade him to term."
You didn't offer me an offer for Fulgham.
No, but I made you an offer for a backup quarterback that you should have smashed, and you didn't.
For Dalton?
Yeah,
he's not a backup anymore.
He's a rental. He's a backup quarterback next year.
Was that a good offer?
Yes, it was.
What'd you offer me?
Quintez Cephas, straight up.
Come on, man.
A young prospect who the Lions have nobody
No, I
on
like him.
contract at wide receiver next
I
year.
like him. I've got him on a ton of leagues.
I
But
do too.
Andy Dalton's worth more than Quintez Cephas right now. He's worth some picks. He's worth yes.
In a dynasty
absolutely.
league, no, you're not going out there and paying. People do not go pay the people who happen to be fortunate enough to get their bid in first, or where your waiver wire was open. Don't reward these people by giving them a bunch of picks and stuff for Andy Dalton. I think Andy Dalton's going to be a top 12 quarterback the rest of the way, but he's also going to be a backup again next year.
So if you're in win now
mode,
mode, he's worth more than Quintez Cephas.
This is don't you Dak Prescott owners don't let these Andy Dalton owners fleece you. Don't do it. Stay strong. You're not going to win this year. You lost Prescott. Don't do it.
I think he's worth a second rounder anyway.
See, that's ridiculous. Is Cephas worth a second rounder?
Not yet.
If you think he's going to play,
not yet.
If Fulgham can fetch Will Fuller, then my offer was completely legit.
It's Fulgham. It's not Fulgrim. That's a.
If he can say Burrows, I can say Fulgham.
Burrows. I think Cephas is worth a late second. I pay a late second. Absolutely. You're welcome. I did pay a late second.
Thank you.
Which I got screwed on and lost Saquon Barkley, Michael Thomas, AJ Brown,
I just bought Antonio Gandy Golden in a league for a fourth.
Oh, well, that's a good deal.
So what's the difference between him and Cephas right now? They're both prospects.
You're right. I like Gandy Golden a little better.
So
long term.
So you just fleeced somebody too.
I did. He's in the undroppables.
Yeah, I like Gandy Golden. I talked about him a lot this summer, man. He's gonna need to get his
need some seasoning.
Get his feet wet. Yeah, he's not ready to jump in like Chase Claypool and get 4 touchdowns or anything.
Another kid that looked good Sunday, Justin Jackson, looked really good with the opportunity. He looked better than Kelly has looked at any point this season. So that backfield is way up in the air for me. What are we going to see? Then they got a bye week this week because of the schedule reshuffle, and then they come back out. I'm sure Keenan Allen's going to be fine. He left the game Sunday. Herbert just continues to look phenomenal.
Yep.
He looks even way better than I even thought he might at this stage.
I just moved him up to QB 8 in Dynasty rankings.
How can you not move him up?
I got to take the L on Kelly and Jackson, though. I really thought that Jackson's core injury was going to keep him out longer. So, Kelly passed him up in camp because he couldn't get out on the field. And I wasn't expecting him to come out with that kind of burst. So I took the L there. There's probably a lot of people that roster Kelly because of me. So my fault, guys.
We can't get them all right. I held on to all my shares of Justin Jackson.
So did I.
So I had him in several spots, and it was a pleasant surprise. I looked down. I think he scored like 14 or 15 PPR points.
Yep.
In his first game back. I don't know how many times he touched the ball. I know he had
very many because he had a big run.
He had one long run. I was just about to say it was like 40 some yards. But he looked good. He looked like he had burst, and as long as he's playing with Herbert and they've got Keenan Allen out there, and man, in my Chargers season preview, I stated that Mike Williams would probably be a much better fit with Herbert and would probably turn into a thing if he got on the field. And we kind of saw this coming, or I did anyway. He's throwing bombs to guys we've never heard of, and while Mike Williams is hurt. And then as soon as Mike Williams was back last week, he was up making spectacular catches down the field. I know Beasley likes Mike Williams a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Big Mike Williams.
I said the same thing and caught some flat for it. Al Sabermetrics has entered. Hey, Al.
What's up, man?
you're speaking of the no-name guys. I want little pieces of those guys because guys get hurt. So
Yeah, absolutely. Reed
I want
and those guys. Yeah.
I want as many pieces of Herbert as I can get. So I picked up a lot of Guyton over the last couple weeks because he'll see the field intermittently, and then he'll get out there if one of the big two guys gets hurt. And then the other guy behind Guyton is Johnson. He's further down the depth chart, but depending on how deep your leagues are, I like rostering Guyton as just a stash. I want pieces of that offense, man. Herbert's amazing.
Yeah,
he looks really, really good. I'm very happy.
Another big L to Kev Moynihan for saying that he was nothing special. Kev, I'm going to bring you up every single time we talk about Justin Herbert. Thank you very much.
there he goes. Yep,
This
I like
L's
that.
for you, Kev. While we're talking about L's, I want to get to the Wolf of the Week. I woke up to, well, I didn't wake up, but I kind of pulled up the my Scott Fishbowl League at work yesterday, and this was like coming downstairs to Christmas and having coal in your stock. And I don't know why this put me on tilt so hard. I guess because I wasn't there to pick them up. But somebody dropped Cam Newton in my Scott Fishbowl League.
What?
Yeah, I saw that, man. That was
Picked
immediate.
up Joe Flacco.
I'm sorry to laugh.
This was not a fan. This was not a fan who did this.
Wow.
This was an analyst.
Did he not think that Cam was going to come back?
I don't know what he thought.
Did he think Joe Flacco was actually going to be a starter for the rest of the year?
Is this the guy that said Joe Flacco is elite?
Is it Joe Flacco? Is it Joe Flacco?
Is it Joe Flacco?
No, I'm not going to call the guy's name.
No, it's Derek Mason. You're playing in Scott Fishbowl with Derek Mason. He dropped Cam for Joe Flacco.
If you wish to go look this up, you can go look this up. I'm sure. I'm in the Skip It division. I'm there with Kate from Ball Blast. And I thought one other really big heavy hitter analyst, but I was completely wrong. So, yeah, man, I just don't know. I don't understand that at all. As good as he's looked, running the football and scoring all those rushing touchdowns when they've played, I don't understand why you would do that. But maybe he knows something I don't.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Wolf. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. I still, even after looking back, I mean, I think I picked up Flacco in like 2 leagues just to throw him on my bench. But I mean, it doesn't make it. It makes no sense to me whatsoever. I still can't figure it out.
I would start a bye-week quarterback in Scott Fishbowl before I started Joe Flacco with the scoring settings. What is it? -5 for an interception, -6 for a pick six.
Yep.
There is no way my balls are big enough to start.
If you got one of those guys, you might as well start a position player in your flex. I figured that out when I started Kyle Allen last week.
We should have figured that out when Kirk Cousins scored -22 points one week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Al had it figured out before that, who's in our chat right now. Him and Ryan McDowell and a few people in the industry said before the season started that looking at this scoring, unless you've got a top quarterback, you're probably going to want to not start 2 quarterbacks.
Well, my 2 quarterbacks are the reason I'm 4-1. So my 2 quarterbacks have been great.
Well, you've got top quarterbacks. So,
yes.
But
well, I mean, that a lot of people didn't think Rodgers was going to be a top quarterback this year. And I took him.
We did.
Yeah, we all did.
We all did.
I think the Wolf of the Week, if we can move the chains a little bit, is Melvin Gordon driving drunk 30 miles an hour over the speed limit in
Well,
downtown Denver.
That's the idiot of the week.
That's the idiot. Yeah, even if that the cam drop is still a bigger woof than Melvin Gordon getting a DUI.
I lived in Denver for
man.
You're an asshole.
You're stupid. I lived in Denver for 7 years. Downtown is a very tight, condensed area. You can't hide. I'm not saying that it's okay to drive drunk if you can get away with it, but I'm saying you've got to be drunk and very stupid to be driving.
Yes, you are very stupid if you drive drunk.
So I guess the team is saying that he's sick and he might not be able to make the trip this week. It's unrelated to COVID and unrelated to his current situation. He's ill.
Here's the thing with how stupid Melvin Gordon is. I believe the team in when they say he's legitimately sick, because I wouldn't expect discipline to come this year. We've seen how slow the NFL moves with this crap. He's gonna his matter is gonna have to be adjudicated in court. He's gonna have to be found guilty or whatever plea agreement they come to before the NFL gets involved with any sort of punishment.
Yep.
So if you have him, don't panic drop him or anything like that. If he's out this week, he's probably legitimately out this week because of sickness or illness of some sort.
You're right about the penalty being levied probably next year, but I still think that he's not sick, and this is a way for the team to kind of punish him.
And that may be true too, but the point is he'll be back next week.
Yeah,
I feel like whatever is wrong with him,
unless the team can suspend him
the team can do whatever they want
for conduct detrimental to the team if they want.
Yeah, the team could do whatever they want. Obviously, I don't think they're going to cut him or anything like that, but we'll see. I mean, this is a new NFL, but
I mean,
I would wait to see what they do before I made a move. If I own him in a couple places, and I'm waiting to see. So,
any thought? I mean, I was just throwing it out there. I mean, it might not have anything to do with it at all, but he was out, in public, drinking with people. I mean, the COVID issue, possibly. Maybe they want to keep him away for a couple days to see if he were to test positive. I'm just throwing that out there just because of the situation it is. I mean, I know there's no bubble, but with all all these positive cases coming up here and there, maybe they felt that they needed to hold him out for a little bit since he was out in public.
Yeah, I'd say another wolf is whoever gave Adam Schefter the false information about the Falcons is shame on you.
What was that?
Whoever gave Adam Schefter the false information.
What false information is what I'm asking?
The Falcons testing all these Falcons that supposedly tested positive for COVID and
I didn't know that was a sham.
Yeah, it turned out to be all bull crap.
Yep. Well, Julio Jones just tweeted they failed us. So I don't know if that's about the guys that just got fired, or I don't know if that's about the COVID or what's going on. But
who knows, man? He may be talking about Call of Duty or something. People try to read the tea leaves of these athletes' tweets, and we have no idea what's going on in their day-to-day life. That could be about anything. I'm not crapping on you bringing it up. It
was just topical. It just happened, so it was just it was on the conversation point.
Since we've brought up Melvin Gordon and his bullshit, I want to talk about a feel-good story that legitimately made me kind of tear up Sunday. Watching Alex Smith jog onto the field in Washington was a sight to behold, man. He didn't look good. I don't care. The fact that he was able to overcome what he overcame and swim through the mountain of shit that he swam through and get back on the field, he's got my vote for comeback player of the year if he doesn't play another down this year. That made me really feel good for him. And I was really happy to see it.
Yeah, man. I mean, how can you not be happy for the guy? He almost lost his leg, almost lost his life. I mean, it's just a crazy story. And to watch him just even go out there, I mean, that offense is so bad. I mean, the poor guy was just sent to the wolves, but just for him to get back on the field again is awesome. And it was really good to see, man. It was just wild story.
Speaking of tiers and quarterbacks, we got to talk about Dak Prescott. We brought up Andy Dalton briefly earlier. Seeing Dak leave on that card was
Sorry, it wasn't Julio Jones. It was Jonathan Jones, the cornerback for New England. I saw Jay Jones in the check mark. So somebody failed the Patriots.
somebody failed. All right.
Yeah, and I failed big time. Thanks, Al, for correcting me there.
I should have known it was Sabermetrics with the correction. He's such a dick.
But it's the Patriots, dude. The guy's all over the
he's Mr. Patriot.
Mr. Patriot kid.
I parked my car and I had to correct Paulie's tweet there.
He has to climb out of Bill Belichick's ass every time he wants to tweet.
How do you like those apples, Paulie?
Love you, Al.
Prescott. Have we watched him play his last game for Dallas?
It's possible. I mean,
yeah,
I think so.
Unfortunately, Dak bet on himself, and the worst possible thing could have happened. He was offered what 30.
That was like 36 million.
36 million with 30 guaranteed, and he wanted 10 or 15 million more, and he would have got it. God, he was playing just out of his freaking cleats, man. And that was a very bad injury. I didn't know what a dislocation meant until I was a very old man. I always thought of a shoulder dislocation. It comes out of the socket. I didn't know that when you dislocated a bone that it pierced through your skin.
Yeah.
So right. he broke his ankle and he had a dislocation, which means he had sharp bone peeking out of his skin. Anybody who ever says that these guys don't get, these guys get paid too much money, need to watch a video of something like that, because that was horrific.
That was horrific. It was pretty disgusting to watch. I don't really know how he was able to keep his composure. I don't know that I would be able to keep my composure if I looked down and my foot was pointing towards the sideline while I was pointing towards the end zone. It was pretty gross. I have no doubt that he'll make a full recovery, and get back out on the field. I part of my reasoning for thinking that he's played his last game in Dallas is I don't feel like Dallas deserves this kid. Jerry Jones in particular, who they look like they've gone out of their way to try and not pay this guy. And all he's done is win since he came into the league. He won 2 division titles in 4 years and won a bunch of games for him and just breathed life into a franchise that was kind of rudderless. I hope he's played his last game for them. I hope he goes somewhere that he can be appreciated. And your heart goes out to a guy who's battled depression, who lost his brother. He's been through a lot this year, man. I hope you're okay out there, Dak. I know you'll never hear this, but you got some well wishes, at least coming from me anyway.
Hell yeah, same here.
So what's your fantasy take with the red rifle?
I think he's a top 12 quarterback the rest of the way. I mean, I do. What was he? He was on pace for 4,000 yards and 20 touchdowns last year, throwing to John Ross and Alex Erickson. Yeah, man. He's got
and
weapons.
He was a top 5 one time too in his heyday when he had
weapons. He's got a run game. They've got a terrible defense. He's not gonna manufacture plays or anything like Dak did with his feet, but he can move a little bit. He always used to get you those 2 or 3 rushing touchdowns a year when he was a back end quarterback one in Cincinnati. I think he's still got a little gas left in the tank, and the boys are going to squeeze what little bit of football he's got left out of him.
Now, quick question for you. You were talking about Dalton being a rental quarterback for 1 year. Yeah. If he were to be a top 12 quarterback, for the rest of the way, and Dallas makes, whatever they feel comfortable doing him, what would stop Dallas from making him the starting quarterback next year on a deal rather than going out and trying to get a free agent or I mean if they're
signing into a 2-year deal.
Right.
I mean, I get more or Bridgewater kind of deal.
Yeah, like you're looking at kind of like what if he has a Tannehill type ending of the season?
It could happen.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to have a Tannehill type end of the season because the defense is so bad.
It is a lot of opportunity though for him to be throwing the ball.
Yeah, lots of opportunity for him to be throwing the football. I don't know how many times they're going to want to throw it. I know they're probably going to try to protect him and run the ball a little more. But at the end of the day, if you're trailing by multiple scores before halftime, you got to start slinging that rock. And I just don't see this defense magically getting any better. Even though the division is terrible.
I have some takes. Dak was on pace he was throwing 48 and a half times a game. And that's including the first game that he only threw 21. So he was really throwing over 50 times a game. That's not happening with Andy Dalton. He's there. Yeah, that's what everybody says. But there's a way to limit your liability on defense. And if you had a good running back that could slow the game down and keep the defense off the field, would you do that?
They're doing it already if they can do that.
Mm-hmm.
I see them running the ball a lot more.
Their offense, I think, wanting to run the ball a lot more, but that offensive line is not as good as it was built to be.
No, it's not.
I don't think Andy Dalton's built to throw the ball on an 800 time pace. He's through college and all his Bengals years was a 480, 500 attempt guy.
Yeah.
Dak was going to throw the ball 700 and some freaking times.
He was a 480 attempt, 500 attempt guy who was a back end quarterback one who never had the plethora of weapons at his disposal that he does now.
I get that.
Nailed it. He just nailed it. That's exactly where I was going with it.
I get that.
To throw the ball 60 times a game. He does not have to throw the ball 50 times a game for him to return quarterback one money.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that he won't be a QB1. I'm just saying that the volume for all these targets that have been going around is going to go down.
Sure. Don't expect Dak Prescott. That's not what I'm saying.
Well, there's people that think that he's just going to plug and play right in there, and since the defense is bad, he's going to throw it 50 times a game.
You're going to have weeks where you start.
Trust me, I did a thread, and most of the people that commented in the thread said that why wouldn't he throw that much?
You're going to have weeks where you start Andy Dalton and he gets you 5 points, and you're wondering like, what the fuck happened? Because he's not Dak Prescott. That's not what I'm saying. At the end of the day, when it all sorts out and you got 4 or 5 40 burgers and a couple of 20 burgers in there, from this point forward, he's going to be a quarterback one.
Yeah.
And if you're going to ride that roller coaster, then you ride it.
I think he'll be a low end quarterback one that definitely does not throw the ball 50 times a game. Any takes on where he was distributing the ball? We've got such a small sample size, but it was evenly distributed amongst the 3 guys. But Gallup got those important throws. We were talking about where Dak was always looking for Gallup when it really, really mattered. Again, in this game, when it was really, really needing a play, he went to Gallup a couple times in a row, and Gallup made 2 unbelievable sideline circus catches. So I'm still not out on Gallup.
No, not by any means. Especially in Dynasty, where you can, if you can get if there's a buy window open, he's not going to play in Dallas forever. He's not going to be I guess he's the third wheel. He's not going to be that forever. I expect all these guys, Cooper, Lamb, I expect those guys to take a slight hit now that Dak is not there, specifically because they're not going to throw the ball 50 some odd times a game, or they're not going to want to. That's not going to be the game plan. If you have Zeke,
on Zeke, man,
if you have Zeke, you're licking your chops. They're going to want to run the football first.
That's what I'm saying.
But I just don't think they're going to be able to run the football and play defense and get out of there with a bunch of wins. It's just not going to happen. They're just not built that way. I may be wrong, but I just don't see it happening.
TNFF Network is on, asking me about the darts. Paulie with the darts is my favorite. I don't know what he's talking about. Did I say darts?
Do you know maybe you dart like when you drop your, you throw your
sleepers,
sleepers like darts.
I want to talk about a guy who got hurt Sunday and it kind of made me smile.
Oh, in Canada, I guess they call these darts. He's jealous that I'm just smoking in my house, I guess. Kids, smoking's bad.
Smoking is bad for you. Do not smoke. Tristan Hill got hurt Sunday, tore his ACL. Karma. Oof. This is the guy who gator rolled Chris Carson.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say I was happy to see him get hurt, but I sure as shit wasn't sad.
Yeah.
Wasn't it one of the most feel-good football injuries ever?
Yeah, it's like peeing on yourself. It's like all warm.
That's some North Carolina shit right there.
That it is.
Richard Sherman suffered a setback. He's not going to be on the field anytime soon for the 49ers. The 49ers had a bunch of practice squad players playing in the secondary Sunday, and you saw the result. They're going to have these guys playing in the secondary again this Sunday night against the Rams. Start all your Rams. All of them. Get them in the lineup. Get Higbee out there. I don't care. Just get all of the Rams in the lineup. They're going to torch our secondary. It's just a shit show in Santa Clara. So start them all.
When's that game?
Sunday Night Football.
Oh, so I can't do a stack for the main slate for those guys.
You can do a captain's play, and you can just fucking close your eyes and pick a Ram to put in the captain spot, and I'm sure he's going to return tremendous amount of value.
Robert Woods, I think.
Bobby Woods, Bobby Trees, baby.
Yeah.
Start Bobby Woods, start Cooper Kupp, definitely start Goff.
So do you think Mostert's value is a little hit this week, game script wise, or will they just keep throwing him the ball? He looked really good hopping right back in there.
He hopped right back out there. He looked really good. I have no issues at all about playing Raheem Mostert. He's the one 49er that I would feel good about playing. Debo played a bunch of the snaps last week. He clearly overtook Ayuk and everyone else. He's so if you got Debo, I'm throwing him out there in a game that projects to the game script where the 49ers are probably going to trail. I don't know what to do with Jerick McKinnon. I expected his small role to continue. I still kind of do. I don't know what to make of his scant usage last week. The game script last week would seem to favor him, but they didn't use him very much. I don't think Jimmy G was benched for performance. I think they rushed him back out there. I think so too. If you listen to Kyle Shanahan and you sort of watch the tape, his plant foot is the one that he had suffered the high ankle sprain, and it was causing he wasn't planting on it properly, which threw his mechanics off. So CJ Beathard's not going to be a thing all of a sudden. If Jimmy Garoppolo's healthy, it's his team. So all you Garoppolo haters can fuck off, especially you, Tommy Moe. Fuck you. Carr sucks. My show, and I can say what I want.
You can.
But yeah, the 49ers are not any good at all. This is a two-team race because I think the Rams are a lot better than they were last year. I think Cam Akers is going to get the ball more again this week than he got last week, and slowly but surely he's going to start taking that backfield over. We've all said that. And this is a Seattle and LA Rams division this year.
I was just looking up snaps. Darrell Henderson got 29 and Akers got 13.
Yeah.
So he needs to get out there some more. I think he'll take over that backfield as well.
If you watched last week, he looked a lot better than Darrell Henderson did. Darrell Henderson did not good last week.
He looked better than he did before the injury. That week 1, he was kind of happy feet and really kind of dancing behind the line.
Maybe the injury was a good thing for him. Maybe it let him catch his breath and
slowed him down a little bit.
Yeah, slow him down a little bit, sit back and see how things are going.
Now he has to fight for his job, whereas it kind of looked like it was his to lose. Yeah. Made him hungry.
Let's see. I wanted to talk about Josh Jacobs. If there's a panicky owner in your league, I wouldn't worry about Josh Jacobs at all. He's off this week. He hasn't really had a big game in a while. There's a small buy window there. Go grab him.
He's still second in the league in broken tackles, and he's still getting volume. He's going to be fine. Absolutely. You know I love that kid.
Yeah, and have for a while. I think we touched on about everything, gentlemen. Was there something we missed out there, listeners?
We didn't talk about Swift. Dukes just asked if we would talk about Swift. Beezy probably wants to.
Go ahead, Beezy.
So Swift, he's seen about 30% of the running back snaps. He's catching about 4 to 5 targets a game. He's got at least 11 fantasy points in 3 of 4 outings this year so far. I'm all about Swift. I believe they are playing Jacksonville this week.
Yes.
And I think that this is going to be the game where he gets a breakout coming in.
This game could shoot.
Yes, it could. And Swift has been very, very involved in the passing game, out there running routes and doing his thing. Not as involved as a actual running back, but I think those touches will eventually come, and I think we are going to see the breakout start to happen here this week coming up against Jacksonville.
He's only $4,500 on DraftKings, folks, and those 4 or 5 targets could easily turn into 7 or 8 this week in a possible shootout.
That's a 54.5 over under.
Yeah.
So I'm taking the over. Your analysis is sound, and I co-sign it. I would just I got to throw this out there. The coaching staff is comprised of idiots, and we never know what they're going to do from week to week.
No, you're right. Patricia is a fantasy running back killer.
Fire up Stafford.
Peterson might touch the ball 20 times Sunday, and it would surprise me.
Yeah, Stafford and Galladay are big plays, and TJ Hawkinson, obviously. That's a good game to stack. DJ Chark is out, so if you want to do a DFS stack and throw Chenault out there, any mixture of Robinson, Swift, Galladay, and Stafford. If you want to stack Minshew and Chenault and Cole, or if you want to stack Stafford and Galladay and Hawkinson and run it back with the guys from the other team, that would be a really, really good, fun one to stack this week. Affordable as well.
Yep. So since we're talking about Stafford, and all we do is talk about my leagues, I made a trade. I'll get you guys' opinion. I made a trade in my home single quarterback league today. I traded Mahomes and McLaurin.
Wow.
For Mixon and Galladay.
One quarterback, right?
Single quarterback.
So you can run with Stafford.
I'm going to roll with Stafford the rest of the way.
He just finished his bye week.
Yes, and his schedule the second half of the season is cake.
It's money, dude. Yeah, it is.
He plays one hard defense, the Colts pass defense. Other than that, he really doesn't play anybody worth talking, worth mention. I really like him the rest of the way, and I really like Galladay the rest of the way.
Oh yeah,
I'm all about it, dude. Yep, Kenny G, I'm a big fan of coming up here. I gotta have a lot of shares of him coming back here recently, so I'm happy.
Well, cool, man. Is Sabermetrics still out there?
He just bounced, and we're right at that little over an hour mark that you said you wanted to do an hour. So he just bounced. I think Dukes and
Beezy's got something to say.
Oh, I think everybody bounced.
Hold on, one more. You ready? Joe Mixon, 6 targets, back-to-back games. What do you think about that moving forward? Since he wasn't seeing the target share at the beginning, are we starting to see a new trend in Cincinnati where they're going to start using him more?
So
Because
we sort of. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
no, that's okay. 30 plus touches in back-to-back games, even though it wasn't the greatest outing this last one. He was against a tough defense, but that's some pretty high volume right there.
Yeah, so we sort of saw this coming, right? I feel like we told you guys to go get him when we were talking about not getting stuck on a take, and I mentioned to go get Joe Mixon, and this was the week before he blew up for 3 touchdowns, and you can only give someone it was never a question about Mixon's talent. And you can only give someone as talented as Joe Mixon that many touches before he blows up. Eventually, it'll happen, and we saw it happen. And his schedule softened a bit. So if you haven't been able to get him, and you still can, I'm all about acquiring Joe Mixon.
Also, Darius Leonard is out again this week for the Colts. I don't have stats on them versus pass-catching running backs this year, but last year they were bottom 3 or bottom 5 DVOA against pass-catching running backs. Okereke is a linebacker that we drafted from Stanford that has performed pretty admirably in Leonard's absence, but he's not Darius Leonard. He's not a freak all over the field like he is. So people might be scared to start Mixon this week against the Colts' great defense, but I think the Colts' great defense is a little bit of a smokescreen against the cushy opponents that they started the year with. The Browns had no trouble moving the ball on them at all. So, especially if you're looking at a guy that's going to get 25 plus attempts, touches, he's, people were asking me already, should I play this guy or Mixon
anybody that's getting that many touches is getting in my lineup. I don't care.
And it was like Gibson or Mixon.
Bears. Yeah.
It was like Gibson or Mixon or like Gaskin or Mixon. It was like, choices like that, which I love both of those guys. Yeah. But those guys are touching the ball 15 to 18 times. I'll take the volume of Mixon all day long.
Yeah.
So people are getting a little too cute out there. Start Joe Mixon against the Colts. You'll be fine.
Absolutely. 100%.
100%. And Duke's just signed off about the Colts D. He's another Colts fan. He's here in Indy.
All right.
That they're not as good as advertised right now.
Dukes, was it you or Fantasy and a Few that traded me Gandy Golden for a 4th?
And we wait.
But anyway,
even if it was him, he's not going to say it right now.
He's not going to admit that. Yeah, guys, I think we touched on everything.
He said, "Not me."
Okay, not him.
It must have been Phil.
Must have been. Was anything else you guys wanted us to touch on, or listeners out there wanted us to touch on?
No,
I think we got it today, dude. Yeah,
cool, man. Well, I had fun. I had a lot of fun. I know you guys had fun.
Oh, good laughs today, man. Good times as always.
Yeah, thanks for watching us on the StreamYard and on the YouTube. And next week we will have a normal pod, but we will also have the video format. So
yeah, absolutely.
If you guys aren't tired of looking at our ugly mugs, feel free to watch.
Beezy.
Oh, you sexy motherfucker, man.
You watch the likes this is about to get, dude.
Trending.
Yeah. We're about to go viral. We're about to go viral, baby.
And my left stroke just went viral.
Three of us and not a neck to be found.
No.
No shit.
Dude, that's my protection, dude. You know what I mean? So if somebody comes at the throat, dude, they got to get through that second chin, man.
Yeah, the jugular is not attainable.
Nope.
You better go for the Achilles.
All right. We're going to get out of here. Remember, the best fantasy discussions are
unscripted. That was a peace sign, by the way. It wasn't.
I thought it was a middle finger too.
No, it came across bad. All right, boys.
We're still